Hello, very proud viewers, and welcome to episode number 9 of UW-Stout. Joining me once again, UW football head coach Matt Janus. Matt, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, Daniel. How about you?
Great, and even better that coming off a huge win last Saturday, 10th ranked River Falls came to lacrosse. You guys topped them 28-24. Yep. Now that you've again had a few days to reflect, what are your overall thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the style of the game went exactly how I thought it was going to go, where it was going to be a back-and-forth game. It was going to be a really physical football game. It was going to come down to the last possession. But just overall, really pleased with the way we won that game as a football team. And I think that took a lot, and we had to play, in order to win that, we had to play complementary football. And I feel like we did for the most part. I mean, obviously, they're an offense that we talked about last week that thrives on plays, and they want a high number of plays. They run a very efficient offense. They're going to take their shots, and they did that early in the game. They're going to take their shots when they get into some one-on-one matchups. But realistically, they want quick throws. They want to kind of chew the clock with quarterback run game. They want to kind of move the ball down the field at a really fast pace and get your defense to get tired, to get worn out, to get your coordinator to kind of screw up a play call. And they got kind of in a few of those early on in the game, but I think our defense did a great job of settling down. And really why I say it, we won that as a team. If you go and look back at the game, I mean, we held on to the ball as an offense for 42 minutes in the game. So, I mean, you take away the time of possession, as we held on to that ball for 42 minutes to there. I think they had 17 and change off of that, right? And so that right there, the time differential is huge. And again, their offense, though, can still thrive with 17 minutes time of possession because of the way they move the ball, because of how fast they move the ball down the field. So really where the difference lies then, not only just the time of possession, but our offense ran 88 plays to their 61. And I think they only ran close to 30 in the second half. And so you talk about playing team football. I mean, that's a great job by our defense, especially in the second half, getting stops and getting off the field. And it's a great job by our offense of just hanging on to the football. And so we talk about 42 minutes, over the course of 4 hours, how much in real time was their offense really on the field? How much in real time was their offense able to get in sync with each other when we're holding on the ball like that? So I thought really just a great job as a team, playing as a team and winning with complementary football.
Probably the most notable stat line of the game was Gabe Lynch's well over 200 yards on the game. Probably the craziest, we were saying before we started recording, probably the craziest touchdown I've seen in all of football this year.
Yeah.
I was saying, kind of bounced off a tackle. I'm like, okay, the play might be over, and the next thing, boom.
Yep.
In the end, let's go over kind of what went down on that play.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a great job by Coach McGuire and continuing to be patient with the run game. And some of the things they're doing, especially in the third quarter and parts of the second quarter, was they chose to say, we're going to put 2 guys over Jack Studer, right? And so they chose to kind of make that. And so, you have to be able to run the ball. And they wanted us to be able to run the ball into their front 6. And then they started bringing their safety number 5 down into the box. But a great job by Coach McGuire staying patient in the run game. And obviously Gabe takes a career high in carries. And we kind of limit them throughout the year. But when Gabe gets going, it is just fun to watch. It's fun to watch the level of toughness that he runs the ball with. It's fun to watch how he understands the system and what we're running with duo. And then on top of it all, I mean, credit to our offensive line too. I mean, those guys, and I tell you, they all got game balls after the game. I just thought that was one of the toughest performances by an offensive line in my career here at UW-Lacrosse. So really, really proud of those guys. So as we kind of get back into the film here, again, just kind of working our way. Again, like the key part, and you guys, I don't know if we can see from there, but the key part is we keep finding ways to be successful on first down. And and you talk about time possession, you talk about plays, it's because we're chewing away at first down. I mean, we're getting ourselves into 2nd and 3, and at this point in 2nd and 3, the whole playbook is open, especially 2nd and 3 at this end of the field. So Coach McGuire gets into a little bit of a bunch set here, right? And so you got to see they're going to play 3 over 3. I'm guessing, they got their corner involved. He's kind of given the illusion that he's going to play over here. So really, we're looking, if you're just counting numbers, that's 4 over 3 here to the field, right? And so, as we put some of our tags on, you're going to see some of our tags right here. You see just the now off of that. Obviously, our receivers do a great job of blocking out there, right? So we're presenting the now option. But because you can kind of see where Kyle's at, because post-snap, okay, they're still playing 4 over 3, we're going to give the ball right here. And so our offensive line does a great job. Gabe does a great job on the duo in terms of where this thing hits right here. We do a great job of climbing up to the second level. And we kind of got what we thought, right? Hey, that's a 5-yard run, which is what we've been doing, right? Methodically, we've been getting those 5-yard runs. We've been getting the 7-yard runs. And now all of a sudden, the rest of this is on Gabe and Brendan Harder, our center right here. And Gabe does just a great job and just kind of spinning out of it. I'll play this. I'll get off the slow-mo here and just let this thing run. And you said it, Daniel. This is one of the best runs perhaps of college football right here, of Gabe just putting his shoulder down, continuing to drive his feet. You see Harder's going to come in, or our center's going to come in and just kind of knock him loose at the last second here. So it's a great job by Harder right here, getting himself involved here. He's on his combo. He sees Gabe working. He's going to get an extra. He just gets one more push on him, and he actually pushes Gabe and pushes him ahead there. So, like I said, that might be one of the best runs in college football. As we go to the tight version of it, you see, again, just the great combo right here with our guard in terms of our young guard, Bryce Sharp right here. Gets himself up to the back. A great job by him right here. Gets himself up. We get a nice seal. Gabe does a great job on the read. That's just a perfect picture right there. Gabe gets himself through right here, onto the second level. And those guys, 5 and 22, those guys are great players. Like, those guys are really physical players. And then you see Harder just kind of knocks him just enough, and just a great job by Gabe. But what a huge, huge run.
So talking a little bit more about the offensive side of the ball, it wasn't just Gabe that was doing his thing. Kyle Haas also had another great game at QB, bunch of good runs, a couple really good throws as well. One of those great throws was to Tyler Bowman, the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth. Let's go over that.
Yeah, we get ourselves kind of back into the red zone. We're really in a 3rd and short, and just struggling a little bit down there. We're moving the ball fine. We're getting down in there. We're just kind of got to get a little bit better in terms of our execution. But here we go. We got a big 3rd down coming up here. Really, the whole play design. Coach McGuire had a great concept with what we thought we were going to get, where we were going to try to look at kind of flashing the screen underneath here with the motion out. We knew we were going to get some version of really cover 0. So you see how the motion of Gabe really, they kind of screw up here, where they got 2 guys triggering now on this. And then we take this away. We knew their linebackers were going to kind of sit in a little hole. So we're trying to get this guy out by having this thing flash across right here. And then really, I think we just kind of bent that a little bit short here. We have that option with Keaton on the backside, which you got to see it, but for whatever reason, we just don't see the option right here. And I think, one thing we'd like to see is Kyle really kind of stay in the pocket here a little bit more. I think they were doing some different things in terms of blitzes off the edge, so I think he was kind of anticipating some of that. I think we got some really good protection. We got a really nice pocket right here. Tyler's got the one-on-one right here. He starts to see, Kyle work himself out. Does a great job of coming back on the scramble rules right here. Does a great job of coming back. Does a great job of finishing the catch, and really credit to their corner too. He doesn't really give up on this play right here, right? He keeps on it. So Tyler does a great job of hanging on to the ball as that thing goes here. So kind of play, realistically, the play kind of breaks down from what we initially thought it was going to be. And sorry, I'll take some of this stuff off here so we can watch it kind of in full stream again. I draw all over this stuff. But, so we can kind of watch it in full screen here. And again, you see kind of the front concept of it. You see the motion by the back, kind of throw some stuff off. They're playing, we knew where they're playing like kind of some lane, some 0 with that. So we really kind of caught them, I feel like, with the play design. We just didn't finish on that part of the ball, but we do a great job of extending the play and getting that ball and somebody making a play when we needed it most. And Tyler Bowman's a guy that we really like, a really good receiver. Kind of had a kind of a tough start to the year in terms of just kind of some nagging injuries, some nagging hamstrings, and so to see Tyler really step up and when his team needed it most is pretty special.
So similar to the Eau Claire game, pretty great game on defense all around. Only allowed 7 points in that second half. One of those big plays, the play that secured the win for UWL, was a Trent Mullen interception in the fourth. Let's go over what happened there.
Yeah, no, like you said, great job by our defense here in terms of getting themselves, back for the second half. I didn't think we played some of our best football in the first half. I thought we allowed them to do what they wanted to do on just probably a couple drives of the second quarter there, where they were able to move the ball at a fast pace. We kind of looked out of sync there, maybe lost our composure a little bit. So I got after them a little bit at halftime, and that's a group that responded really well. I thought Coach Z did a great job of changing some play calls and adjusting to what he's seeing. It was a tough week with them. I mean, obviously their scheme in general, they're just going to be an empty, but they're kind of mostly in a tight end empty. So they're keeping the tight end in, so they get some quarterback run game, and they're going to quick game RPO off of that stuff. You got two different quarterbacks that you're facing. They were using two different quarterbacks on the field at one time. So we had a lot that was kind of going on, and Coach Z again continues to kind of grow as a play caller here and continues to settle down. And settled himself down and made sense of, okay, here's what they're trying to do, here's what we're going to do, and got that to our kids. And so our kids played really well, especially at kind of the midway through the third to the fourth quarter. So we get into the last kind of drive here. Again, we're sitting in the 2nd and 3, so we talked about that for our offense. They kind of have the same thing where they have an open playbook, and what we did here is we starting to mess around with the quarterback a little bit and trying to really change the picture for the quarterback here with some disguises. We have our Sam's walked up, so our Sam's out of position here. Our safety's up playing a little bit of press here. We're playing some off man to the field. We got kind of an empty. They got a 3x2 empty set right here. So we're kind of giving a little bit different picture to the field where we thought he was going to try to attack here. And so we're actually bringing a blitz here. We're bringing a cross blitz over here. So our Sam's coming from his disguise, from the line of scrimmage, and we're going to wrap our Mike around, put him in the quarterback's face. So you're going to see Tanner right there, right off the bat, gets into the throwing window, the throwing eyes of the quarterback. He's got that. I would like Tanner. He knows I'd like that blitz to be a little tighter so he doesn't veer off, so he can get a hit on the quarterback. But he does a good job of kind of matching hand. He's in the quarterback's window, right in his eyes, and you see what's happening now as this blitz is coming. The picture is going to change all of a sudden right here, right? Is that he's not playing man-to-man, which he gave the illusion of playing man-to-man. He's not doing that anymore. And now he's got to recognize, this quarterback's got to recognize the change in coverage here within a split second and with somebody right in his face right here. We're really just playing cover 3, and because our safety cheated over here to the 3-speed into the boundary, we're really playing cover 3, and it's just a great job by our safety here, who drops off with Brendan Gorlaski, drops off and plays really a kind of a zone off of that. So he kind of hides that window, so it creates the throw to go high, and it's going to force the quarterback to make a bad throw here. And we get another Trent Mullen with another big interception for our defense here. Huge play for our defense right there.
So it's the second straight game now with Trent with an interception. What are you seeing from him late in the season that you're really liking?
I see the same thing. I've seen it from Trent since, I don't know, maybe week 2 of his freshman year. Trent is a really, really good corner, and he's young, and that's the beauty of it. But the guy just gets the system, understands what he's going to do. And Trent Mullen here is only going to get better and better and better and better. He's a phenomenal player and really fun to watch.
And so after last Saturday, there's now a 3-way tie at 3-3 at top conference. You guys 2-2. A couple other teams are also 2-2. One of those 3-1 teams you go and play this week up at Stout.
Yep.
A team that, I mean, if you ask me, should be ranked. A couple of really great wins on the season. What are you guys doing to prepare for that game?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, first and foremost, going to go back to 22. The environment there is going to be hostile. It's going to be loud. The loudspeakers are loud. So trying to prepare our kids for that, for just the environment of what Stout is going to be. But like you said, it's a team that's playing really, really well. It's a team that has, over my tenure here at La Crosse, has constantly given us fits, whether it's on the offense side of the ball, whether it's on the defense side of the ball. They're playing really, really well on defense. I think their secondary is probably the biggest change. I think their front seven really play hard. They play really physical in the box, but I think their secondary there's been a huge improvement there where they have some good players back there. And then I think if you look at their offense side of the ball, man, they're no huddle, a great play call. They're giving you 90 different things, 90 different looks. They have some really great receivers, and they do a great job, which people don't probably talk about enough. They do a great job with special teams. They do a great job with their kickoff game. They do a good job. They're sound in their punt schemes. They have really good returners on their punt return unit. So it's a team that's playing really, really well. I would agree with you 100%. I think they should be ranked. And so, again, here we are again saying another WIAC game. Another, what's going to be another physical battle. What's going to be another 4-quarter battle. I mean, it just goes on and on and on in this conference.
So we kind of touched on this earlier in the season, but now with the regular season winding down, let's kind of revisit it. There's a ton on the line this next couple of weeks. What are you telling the guys as far as not looking too far ahead?
just be stout. I mean, that's all. Like, this is the biggest week of our season right here, and that's all their focus has been. It's been on stout, and it's been on our culture, and we're continuing, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. We're continuing to invest into that. We're continuing to work on just focusing on the experience and focusing on. Yesterday was Positivity Day, and I think I had the most fun I've ever had at practice. We had a blast out there, and so we're going to continue to work on our commitment and our growth and our accountability within our football team, and we're going to continue to build that. And we're not looking down the road. We're not looking in 2 weeks. We don't care about anything else besides this week right now, and really today's practice.
So one thing I noticed, even ahead of the River Falls game, as big of a game as that was, kind of like the Eau Claire game, you seem pretty laid back. I mean, you're joking with the guys, even lined up to try to block a field goal, which I think you should have went after. But what do you attribute that to? Would you say that's kind of because of the shift in culture?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm pretty good at learning, and I see when I'm off. When I'm off and I'm not doing the right things, and I think that's probably one of my greatest strengths. I'm able to readjust myself, and I'm able to fix what I thought was wrong. And sometimes you got to learn as you grow with your team. We sat here after the non-conference season, right? And I'm like, well, I want our team to play with this edge. I want our team to be a bunch of renegades. And then you go through it, and you go through some adversity, and you're like, no, that's not it. And you readjust, and you get yourself back on track, and you try to fit the personality as the team. And I think you're constantly trying to change that. And I think our guys want that. I don't think our guys want to be in an environment and where they feel like just tense all the time and they're like this. I think they want to be kind of laid back, and they've certainly responded over the last couple of weeks to that.
So looking ahead to this weekend, kind of like we've done the last 2 weeks, we're going to touch on a player or two from UW-Stout. You think Eagle fans should keep an eye on. Who would you say that would be?
Yeah, I think it's, I think their whole offense it circles around. I think really two players. Six, their quarterback. He's a good player. And again, we're facing another elusive quarterback, a guy that can beat you with his arm, and then he can beat you with his legs. So, you may play the perfect coverage, and you may have everything covered, and then he gets up for 12 yards, and it's just demoralizing, right? We saw a little bit of him last year, so we know he's tough to tackle in open space. He's got a great arm, so there's that. And then, I think they have a really nice receiving core, and there's some good players on there, but really their slot receiver, number 8, he is shifty. He is hard to tackle. He does it from the receiver standpoint, but he also does it from the returning standpoint. And he's a great returner, whether punt returner, kick returner with that. And so they continue, and that program continues to have really, really scary offensive weapons.
Matt, of course, thank you for your time. Viewers, listeners, thank you as well. Best of luck this Saturday, and go Eagles.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Go Eagles.